So hi everyone. I'm gonna now talk about linear programming problem. Okay, and slowly we just zoom into this simplex method as well. Okay, to know the simplex method, you're supposed to know this linear programming problem initially. So what is linear programming problem? So every problem must have a solution. So let us just discuss about the problem first. So it is a method of solving the type of problem in which two or more candidates or activities are competing to utilize the available limited resources with a view to optimize the objective function of the problem. I know, you might be confused with this definition, but let's dig in deeper what this says. Okay, I know you'd be able to do it once I just tell you all the solution for this one. Okay, so imagine a water tanker here. Okay, so this is the objective of this one is to minimize. Okay, imagine a water tanker here, and there are two constraints out here, that which is cost, and the next one is your competition. Okay, so if your objective is to minimize the cost, then you would prefer a public water tanker, which is your metro water tanker, where the cost is minimized. When you want to minimize the competition, okay, but when you see that when you're involved with the cost, there's more of competition in just attaining this public water tanker, but the cost is very much low. So if you're like if you want to minimize the cost, you just go in for the public water tanker. Whereas when you see the competition as your objective, okay, then you go in for this one, private water tanker. So when your objective is to minimize the competition, you go for the private water tanker, okay, where the cost is more but your competition is less. Minimize competition, go for a private water tanker which is exclusively for you. And when you want to minimize the cost, you go for a public water tanker, which is the metro water tanker. And so this is the thing that is achieved. Okay, now when your objective is to maximize something, okay, maximize the given problem, you go in this way. Okay, so imagine the same water tanker, but you're gonna be the water tanker. Okay, you're gonna be the person in charge of the water tanker. So from your point of view, what would be your constraint? Okay, so the same thing, cost and the competition are two parameter, and you are gonna maximize something. If you're gonna maximize your cost, okay, so that would be for the private water tanker. Okay, so I'm gonna maximize the cost. So from my point of view, I am the private water tanker and I'm gonna maximize the cost. So that would be, I'd be probably choosing this private water tanker. But whereas if I want more competition, I want to make sure that I become popular. Also, like, you want to just go in for this, I'm gonna be the public water tanker because I want the public to be satisfied and everything for this. I'm sorry, I had to differentiate in this way because so that you could just understand about this. Okay, so what is the objective that is met? Okay, you maximize the function, but what is the answer for it? Why do you want to maximize the cost and maximize the competition? Is that when I'm maximizing the competition, what is the result, ultimate result that I get is the people's satisfaction and the competition as well. And somebody who has got his tanker booked, that he would be really be this kind of person. Okay, so and what is the actual objective? What is the result that a private water tanker gets is of course the money. These are the results, this is the objective, and these are the two parameters that are covered here. Okay, now let's move on to the methods to solve the linear programming problem. One is the graphical method, the second one is the systematic trial and error method, third one is your vector method, and the simplex method is the fourth one. When you see this graphical method, you're only involving with two coordinates are possible. One would be your x-axis and the other one would be your y-axis. Okay, so this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. I could only involve two of the variables, and if I'm gonna involve the third constraint, let this be like this. You might have seen all the problems in this way: x1, x2, 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 7x3, like that. So this would be x3, which would be the z-axis. Okay, so when you're gonna see all these things, this would cover in planes, and this would quite be complex in choosing which of the following thing you'd be choosing when you just have got two variables. And sorry for my bad English. Okay, so yeah, the systematic trial and error method, which is actually not covered in most of the syllabus, but let me just dig on with this. Keep substituting some values inside x1, x2, x3 and just arrive at an answer, and again substitute those values in the same equation and just arrive at a conclusion. It's like an iterative process of solving an equation. Okay, the same as simplex. The simplex is also an iterative process, but in this systematic trial and error method there are a lot of steps that are involved, and the answer may be approximate, and there's no guarantee that it will take a lot of time, and it's like quite a guess of a thing. Okay, so trial and error, you need to just guess and just do it. That's what. And in the vector method, this is also something that needs to be by involving a lot of direction, magnitude and all those things, which is also not used in most of the things. The two things that are used are the graphical method and the simplex method, because in the simplex method it provides faster and easier solution, though it's actually it is said as so, but after watching this video I am damn sure that simplex method would be a cakewalk for you all. Okay, so the simplex method here is used for more number of variables, and when there are 3 and more variables, so that's where you just go in for this method. Okay, so let us just dig in deeper with what the simplex method says all about. Okay, so yeah, now let's just move on to the next one, the basic method of what simplex method says. Okay, there are two things that are supposed to be used while solving the simplex method. One is the basic feasible solution, and second one is your optimal solution. Basic feasible solution is nothing but the easiness. Okay, how easily you solve a problem and how best you arrive at a solution. Okay, so easy as well as best, that is gonna be the simplex method. That's how you say simple. The answer is simple because one, it is easy to solve, and when you solve it easily you arrive at the best solution. So that is why you say something as simple thing. Okay, the simple thing is something that looks easy and you know that you'd arrive at the best solution after doing the process. Okay, so let me dig deeper on what this is as well. So let us just dig into this. Okay, so yeah, now